Alistair Johnson here is going to do the most obvious slow overlap ever, and it should not work. But because McKennie is completely static, this pass just beats him. And he's like, wait, what? I thought someone was going to cover this guy. No, dude, you've got a responsibility. The U.S. lost 2-1 to Canada to finish dead last in the Nations League. This is a tournament they have won every other prior edition, so this was a big failure. And a lot of people have said the reason why they were so bad is because they showed no grit, no determination, no passion, no pride. And though I understand those points, I actually disagree. So in this video, I'm going to show you what I actually think contributed to them losing this match to Canada. So like the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy, and yeah, welcome to Campfire Football. I'm Sebastian North. Let's get into USA versus Canada. All right, so in the fallout of this game, you've probably heard a lot of the pundits and especially the ex-national team players really upset about the application of the team, basically saying that they didn't show up and didn't really give a crap. Now, I understand, but I think that is an oversimplistic explanation, and I don't really agree with it. I actually think there are some other things to look into as to why they lost this match. We're going to go over the formation and game plan that Pochettino had, how he hoped the team would attack. We'll talk about the one player who really acquitted himself well, and then we'll get into some of the really sloppy errors that are actually what led to the United States conceding goals and losing this game. And then I'll briefly address this narrative of no fight or grit or whatever. All right, so in Mauricio Pochettino's time in charge of this team, he has really liked to deploy a 4-2-3-1 formation where a fullback inverts and it goes more to a 3-2-4-1. Now, he's been doing this with Anthony Robinson, but without him in the camp against Panama, he put Joe Scally at left back, which didn't really work. Yunus Musa at right back, who pushed up. The whole thing was a little bit weird, kind of stale. In this match, he opted for something far more simple, and they went with a straight 4-2-3-1, and I actually think it worked in a lot of ways. It was when they were trying to build from midfield to attack where things mostly fell apart, but you can see the structure here. Mark McKenzie as the left center back, Cameron Carter-Vickers as the right, Joe Scally here at right back, and it was Max Arfston out on the left side. Now, the benefit of having two pivots against a team that presses is if you are able to find one of them, you can quickly break the press, and that's exactly what the U.S. do here. Weston McKennie gets the ball and really should be switching this ball out to Arfston, who is completely alone. So one of the things you can do with a proper back four is your two center backs can split as they are here, and that allows one of your holding midfielders to sort of go into the left back position and let your left back really push a little bit higher and become sort of like a winger, right? So as this ball comes out to McKenzie, you can see Tyler Adams here more in the left back position. Ahead of him is actually Diego Luna, and that's who's going to get the ball right here. So Arfston is further up the pitch. It's forcing Canada to make sure they keep someone back and keep him honest. And if the U.S. gets stuck in a corner like this, they can switch back out through Turner and go out the other side. Once again, as Scally gets this ball, look who's checking in. Weston McKennie. But because he's cut off, the ball can go right up the line to Tim Weah, who can then drop it to McKennie, and then the U.S. can go out the other side. The problem with the attack is that it was kind of disjointed, and a lot of things would fall apart when they were trying to build from midfield through Canada's back line. They got by a couple times, but it was a little bit lucky. So there, ball goes into Weah. He tries a little outside of the foot flick inside. It goes straight to a Canadian defender who plays it forward, but it bounces off McKennie, then hits Alphonso Davies, then hits Weah, and bounces through. That is not really a constructed attack. Here, Christian Pulisic just dribbling into a bunch of players, just going into traffic. But that luck won't provide you too many opportunities. Here, Scally gets the ball once again. Weston McKennie wide open in the middle. He gets cut off, so you can go to Pulisic. He plays it out wide to Weah, who plays it into McKennie, who then tries a little back flick to play it forward. This was good, but Canada first the ball. They put in the tackle. It goes right to Weah, who immediately plays a one-touch ball forward. The funny thing is, if this ball goes to Pulisic is offside. But Weah's pass goes to Ajiman, who's able to get through. Ajiman not really doing a great job of holding that ball up. Yes, there were some players who did not have great performances. I think Christian Pulisic was very disappointing. So was Weston McKennie. I think Mark McKenzie and Carter Vickers were really poor and made some major mistakes that led to the goals. But it was Diego Luna who really showed up. And this is not the first time under Pochettino that he has left his mark. I mean, you go back to the January camp window where he broke his nose, stayed on the field, and then just had a huge impact. What I love about Diego Luna is he just plays with cojones, man. Like, here he is getting this ball, putting his foot on it, saying, come, pressure me. Like, I'm not worried if you're a couple yards away. And if you come too close, I'll just get rid of the ball and move off the back of you and get open. And what I loved about Luna is that he just moved around. He wanted to get the ball. He wanted to win it off people and compete. And it made a big difference. And I like his movement off the ball here. As soon as the ball doesn't come to him, he doesn't bother to wait. He just goes to the next spot. Here he is, curving his run so that he can check his way in, gets it, knows he's got pressure, just releases it so that they can recycle and go the other way. And once again, there he is running off the back of Jonathan David. And he did so many good things. This is the goal. He ended up switching sides with Timothy Weah, gets it, and look at the personality here. I'm going to dribble in, 2 players on me, I'm going to pass it, and instead of just kind of walking and drifting, I'm going to keep moving. Ball from McKennie gets out to Weah, a little bit of luck on that. But as Pulisic is asking for this ball, you're thinking that's where it's got to go. But he's kind of cut off. And as Weah cuts inside, Luna realizes Christian's run is done. He is stopping. I need to make the second layer here. And he does. And he goes right in behind, receives the ball. It's a very good touch to look up, recognizes he's got pressure from a defender, not the greatest angle, so he drops it to Adjimang, who is completely free just next to the penalty spot. His shot gets deflected in, but the impact from Luna was huge, and it would continue in all types of ways. Here, just an example of one player not closing the ball down well. This is Weston McKennie, and then I'll show you the opposite with Luna. Kone gets the ball here, and Weston McKennie's standing like 3 yards away from him. Like, this is not pressure on the ball. And so as the ball goes away and then comes back to Kone, once again, McKennie just standing like 4 yards away. Alistair Johnson here is going to do the most obvious slow overlap ever, and it should not work. But because McKennie is so far off of Kone and completely static, this pass just beats him. And he's like, wait, what? I thought someone was going to cover this guy. No, dude, you've got a responsibility. Now, take a look at what it looked like when Diego Luna was pressuring out here. I mean, he is just right on. As soon as the ball goes away, he knows I'm going to give the guy just enough space to make sure I don't get split in behind. He doesn't run behind me. But when this ball gets to him, I'm in his face. Look at this. Luna right up to him. Guy tries to go down the line. Luna's with him. Now he gives away a throw in here, but that is excellent pressure on the ball. And Luna would do different things like this all game. He had a lot of ball recoveries, also counter pressing, making sure that you're the one that wins these little duels. Here, he just gets in, gets his body in, wins the ball, and now the U.S. can go out the other way. Another situation really similar. Canada have the ball. Adjimang gets a toe poke, and now it's a loose ball. Who's going to get there first? Luna, very quick to it, wins a tackle, and then what I love here is he takes responsibility of the action. So he chips the ball over the top to Fossey, who tries to go forward, and Alistair Johnson deals with him very well and plays the ball away. Who's the first on the ball? Again, it's Diego Luna, and he gets beat here on the dribble, but he's not having it. He's like, nope, I'm fouling you. I'm not letting you get away. I'm surprised he got away with not a yellow card here, but the problem for the U.S. is they had a lot of sloppy mistakes, and this is what led to Canada's goal. So here is Canada's opener. This is a fantastic pressing opportunity. Ball goes wide here, the defender, and he has no options. He doesn't have a teammate anywhere in sight. There is one obvious place this ball is going to go. Right here in this central area to someone who can come in and get it. So Pulisic should be breaking his neck to get into this space to make sure that is not where the ball goes. McKennie and Weah as well. Everyone should be coming in to make sure no ball goes through this area and gets switched to the other side. That is not a great pass, and although it's good enough to make sure that they can pass it back, now you've got to start flooding forward. And St. Clair here plays another bad ball. Now you've got Chouanier running away from the field. Weah has got to be quicker to not let him turn and face forward, and that's the fatal mistake that allowed Canada to actually get the ball up the pitch. Then Carter Vickers takes out his mark. Because he's out of position, there's space in behind, and the ball goes over the top into Buchanan, and he drives forward. Now Scally does well here to recover, slow Buchanan down. Buchanan takes a touch down the line, tries to cut it in, and McKenzie's able to clear it away. So you're in a good spot. You've cleared away that first attack. You should be able to get players back and plug anything up for Canada. Take a look at Jonathan David with his arms up in the air. Someone needs to cover him, and who is the player closest to him? It's Pulisic, or it's Arston. I don't care, but one of you needs to go and mark the guy who is Canada's top ever goal scorer. Also, you've got Tyler Adams here standing a little bit too far off of Kone. At least he can see him and knows where he is. But then Weah just backing away. I know you can't foul the guy, but don't let him get closer. As he looks up, Jonathan David still wide open, and here you see Adams and Pulisic are just staring at the ball, and they don't realize that both players have gone off the back of them. And so the ball goes into David. His shot gets blocked initially by McKenzie, but Canada get the rebound and score. Then we go to the second half, and I just kind of want to mention this because this is ridiculous. So Fossey is right there. Turner, just go back into your goal. So when Fossey gets his ball, he's like, well, I don't know, Turner, I guess I'll give it to you. Leaves it for him. And I don't think this is good from Fossey to just sort of start turning and walk away. But I think he's also thinking to himself, why would you give it to me? Just go out the other side. And Turner just sort of panics and passes it straight out of play. I mean, this is awful. So this is actually a play that starts with the U.S. building out. The ball goes into Turner and he looks up and he's like, you know what? I'm just going to go long. So the United States hit it long. Canada win the first ball, the second one, but the U.S. are able to collect the ball here and Pulisic is driving forward. Now he flicks the ball out to Luna and he keeps his run going. Luna, small mistake here. I think he should play this ball out in front of Fossey to run onto. Instead, he tries to play Pulisic, who's not facing him. The ball hits his heels and Alistair Johnson is able to clear. Now, I do not understand how Mark McKenzie and Cameron Carter-Vickers make this mistake. It's as if they don't speak the same language. When a ball gets cleared like this, you do not have two players attack the ball at the same time. Like, what are they both doing there? One attacks, one supports in case you lose the flick. They lose the flick, and Jonathan David is off to the races, makes Max Arfston look really, really slow. Fortunately, he takes this touch away from goal. As he cuts the ball back, Arfston falls down, and I don't know why David does this. He just slides and chucks himself to the floor. This is the moment where Jesse Marsch absolutely lost his rag, got himself red carded, and looked like a fool in the process because this was absolutely not a penalty. But then they would get the game winner. Now, this is a long throw. Keep in mind, Canada had very few quality opportunities that they actually created in this game. They had long throws, which caused some chaos, and they capitalized off U.S. mistakes. And here's another one. So Canada win the flick off this long throw, but Turner grabs it. Now, he wants to start a counterattack. I think it's good to be aggressive like this and try to get the ball up the field quickly, but you also have to understand when it's not on. And here, Turner just throws his ball because he saw Pulisic running forward, but Canada easily win it. Now, the counter press. Kone gets this ball here and he has a lot of time. I mean, the dude is going to wait and put his foot on the ball and take a look around. I mean, Ajimang, Pulisic, Diego Luna, get closer, put him under some pressure. Instead, he just puts his foot on the ball and waits, and then eventually he's got a runner. So he plays the ball deep through, and now Arfston is 1v1 against Buchanan. Arfston does a pretty decent job here. Buchanan makes a little mistake there, wins it back, but Arfston stays with it and wins the tackle. Now, Arfston, do not try to take this guy on in this scenario. Instead, he tries to dribble by. It gets broken up. Canada win it back. Way actually does pretty well here to get the tackle in on Buchanan and get it away. And so, once again, the U.S. are in an okay position here. Everyone is matched up. Everyone is marked. And this ball is going to go into Jonathan David. Look at Mark McKenzie. Just get tighter to the guy. He gets the ball. McKenzie, I don't know, he let Jonathan David turn in the box. Like, what are you doing? And so now it's just an easy cut to the left side, and Jonathan David does what he's done all year long. Now, as I said, I am going to end this with talking about the whole they had no fight, no grit, no determination. Take a look at this from Christian Pulisic. You do not see this very often in the professional game. Most players, when they break away and someone grabs them like this and has a hold of their shirt, they just stop and go, ref, that's a foul. Watch Pulisic here. I'm just gonna let it run because this is amazing. He got fouled like 4 times, dragged the team 30 yards up the field, and got a free kick in this position. But this was a great example of actual grit and determination. So I don't really buy that take that a lot of the people have said. And I think in this video, you were able to actually see some of the things that they tried to do well and how it just didn't really connect. And a few seriously sloppy errors are why they ended up conceding the goals that they did and why they lost the match. Diego Luna, for me, he is a lock in 2026. Whether or not he starts, we'll see. So I hope this was helpful for you if you're a U.S. fan and you didn't want to just hear the whole song and dance about grit and determination, and they're not like they were in 2002. It's like useless. So hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Sebastian North. This is Campfire Football. Take it easy.